Flip, flop, flip, flop. Mitt Romney is a shameless flip-flopper. What does Mitt Romney really stand for? Who knows?
I believe that abortion should be safe and legal in this country. I believe that since Roe v. Wade has been the law for 20 years, that we should sustain and support it.
Well, I've always been personally pro-life, but for me it was a great question about whether or not government should intrude in that decision. And I changed my mind and said I'm pro-life, and I'm proud of that, and I want to apologize to anybody.
I believe that abortion should be safe and legal in this country. I have since the time that my mom took that position when she ran in 1970 as a U.S. Senate candidate. I believe that since Roe v. Wade has been the law for 20 years, that we should sustain and support it. And I sustain and support that law and the right of a woman to make that choice.
On the question of the choice issue, I have supported the Roe v. Wade. I am pro-choice. My opponent is multiple choice.
How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Terrific.
That was Mitt Romney circa 1994 when he ran for the Senate against Ted Kennedy. When he ran for Massachusetts governor in 2002, Romney had the same position.
Yes, and that is with regards to my views with regards to protecting a woman's right to choose. And I've been very clear on that. I will preserve and protect a woman's right to choose, and am devoted and dedicated to honoring my word in that regard. I will not change any provisions of Massachusetts' pro-choice laws, and I will preserve and protect a woman's right to choose. And I do take exception to Shannon characterizing my view as being any different than hers in this regard. The Boston Globe recently reported there's not a paper's worth of difference between our two positions in this regard. No, I want the voters to know exactly where I'm going to stand as governor, and that is I am not going to change our pro-choice laws in Massachusetts in any way. I will preserve them, I will protect them, I will enforce them, and therefore I'm not going to make any changes which would make it more difficult for a woman to make that choice herself. Any response?
My only response is Ted Kennedy said it best. Mitt Romney isn't pro-choice, he's not anti-choice, he's multiple choice.
You know, now, and I can tell you, I do not take the position of a pro-life candidate. I'm in favor of preserving and protecting a woman's right to choose. And your effort to continue to try and create fear and deception here is unbecoming. It's an issue that's important. I've established my view very clearly. Shannon, I think this debate should be raised just one notch.
Let me turn...
Right? And let's make sure that we each can establish what our own views and positions are. My view is very clear. I've said it time and again. Stop trying to scare people. When I'm governor, and I'm convinced I will be, I will preserve and protect a woman's right to choose, and all the confusion you try and throw on this issue is doing nothing to help people.
I believe that the family is the foundation of America and that it needs to be protected and strengthened. I believe in the sanctity of human life.
If that sounds like a flip-flop, it's not the only issue Romney has changed his mind about lately. Now that he's running for president, he calls himself a social conservative. Just last August, he signed on as a lifetime member of the NRA. Back in 1994, you said, I supported the Brady Bill and a ban on assault weapons. That's not going to make me the hero of the NRA, but then I don't line up with the NRA. And now you're a member of the NRA.
Well, we still don't line up 100%.
We do have tough gun laws in Massachusetts. I support them. I won't chip away at them. I believe they help protect us and provide for our safety.
First of all, there's no question that I support Second Amendment rights, but I also support an assault weapon ban.
The only candidate to put his foot in his mouth this week, Mitt Romney called himself a lifelong hunter. When it was later revealed that in fact he's only been hunting twice, he said he meant varmints and rodents. But any sportsman will tell you that ain't hunting. That's pest control.
I purchased a gun when I was a young man. I've been a hunter pretty much all my life.
I'm not a big game hunter. I've made it very clear. I've always been, if you will, a rodent and rabbit hunter, all right, small varmints, if you will. And I began when I was 15 or so, and have hunted those kinds of varmints since then, more than 2 times. I also hunted quail in Georgia. I've hunted a number of times of various types of small.
It's such a cheap spin. Do you think the press will fall for it? The issue wasn't the size of the game. It was his claim to be a lifetime hunter.
And the issue isn't, I don't think,
will it work?
No, I don't think it. No, I don't think it will, and I'll tell you why. Because it plays into a storyline that exists with Mitt Romney, which is he says one thing which tends to be more conservative, but the reality tends to be more liberal.
Any more a conservative than he is a hunter? But don't they, and then the other thing about joining the NRA the very year you're running for president, what's that about?
Again, I think it plays into, this is what John said, when it plays into a narrative, it is potentially powerful. Mitt Romney's narrative is that he was pro-choice when he first ran, he's pro-life now.
If I join the Masons tomorrow to run for president, would that be credible? I don't think so.
Right, and that's the issue that he has, is can he sell it? I would say someone with less gifts couldn't.
I'd like to know your views on gun control.
I support the Second Amendment. I believe people have a right to bear arms. The Constitution says that. I think there was some question as to whether that would be limited or whether only militias could have the right to bear arms, and I believe that's the case. There may be from time to time weapons that are deemed so dangerous to law enforcement and the public that the public won't have them, like automatic weapons, but I believe in the right to bear arms. Thank you.
Hi, Governor. I have a question. The Manchester GOP is having a fundraiser at the gun range next month, where local activists will have the opportunity to recreationally use automatic arms. I was wondering how you feel about that event, given your support of the assault weapons ban, a ban that would counteract what these people are using, these automatic weapons.
Well, they're not. No one's suggesting that automatic weapons be made available to the public. But I'm not terribly animated about the fact that people are going to be using those. It's not going to be in the public, and I certainly wouldn't support any effort to make automatic weapons available to the public. Thank you.
I share some of the concerns. I do think that so far Governor Romney has shown a propensity to want to really rewrite some of the positions he's taken, and it's really a weakness in his candidacy, is that he doesn't seem to have a real compass on several important issues.
Mr. Romney, you say you're a moderate on social issues, one who will defend abortion rights, equal rights for women, for blacks, and for gays. In fact, you say you will do more to promote gay rights than Senator Kennedy. You also sit on the National Executive Board of the Boy Scouts of America, which has an exclusionary policy banning gay members. Do you support that policy? And if not, have you ever done anything as a board member to oppose it?
I believe that the Boy Scouts of America does a wonderful service for this country. I support the right of the Boy Scouts of America to decide what it wants to do on that issue. I feel that all people should be allowed to participate in the Boy Scouts regardless of their sexual orientation. Look, I was an independent during the time of Reagan-Bush. I'm not trying to return to Reagan-Bush. My positions don't talk about things that you suggest they talk about. This isn't a political issue.
Wow, another flip-flop by Mitt Romney. I'm shocked. The same person that said not too long ago that illegal immigrants should have a path to citizenship is now going to the right of President Bush.
He ran in Massachusetts as a very liberal Republican. He said he didn't support President Reagan, said he didn't want to go back to the Bush-Reagan years, voted for a Democrat for president, supported a Democrat candidate here in New Hampshire, had liberal positions on literally every issue.
And I think you have to stand on your record, and I think you have to stand on the statements that you've made, and I think you've been running away from those statements.
I've been standing on my record throughout my career.
You don't have a record. It's one of waffling.
All right, now we turn to you. This is always where I get a little nervous. Oh, lovely. Because, you're like Mitt Romney. You know, I like this. No, I like that guy. I'll be whatever you want.
Flip, flop, flip, flop, flip, flop, flip, flop, flip, flop, flip, flop. Mitt Romney is just another flip-flopper who tells people whatever he thinks they want to hear.